Hello, hello, hello. We are live, everyone. I'm so excited you guys are here. I have another special guest. It is Wednesday and it's Shift Happens time. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the comments so people can say hello. If you are tuning in live, let us know. And if you don't have StreamYard, say my name is and where you're tuning in from so we can see you. Otherwise, I can't see your names and I don't know who's tuning in. So welcome, everybody, to Shift Happens, episode 22. And what is Shift Happens? So, people that are just tuning in who've never heard of this show before, Shift Happens is a show where we can help people make shifts in their life. Because here's the deal, guys, when shift happens, shift can happen. You can either shift in the right direction or you can shift in the wrong direction. And more often than not, maybe we'll do a few shifting in the wrong direction, but we really want to shift in the right direction. And sometimes we just need a way to do that, or advice, or maybe a story from someone who's been there before. So I'm really excited about the guest today because I did a poll for you guys. And I said, what do you want to learn? And what do you want me to talk about? What type of guests do you want me to bring on? And one of them was life after divorce, because that can be crippling. And some people have never been able to move past that, even if they've been through a divorce for 5 months to 5 years. And this incredible woman, Lisa, who I'm going to introduce you guys to in a minute, we had some previous conversations and I'm like, wow, you're really going to be able to help people. So don't go anywhere. So if you're tuning in, I cannot wait for you to meet this woman. I'm going to introduce her really quickly, and then we're going to go unpack this. We only have 30 minutes together, so we're going to unpack a lot of different things. And just say hello if you're tuning in so you can say hi to Lisa. So Lisa, it is an honor and a pleasure to be able to introduce you to the people that are watching, because I know what you've gone through is really going to help a lot of people. So before we get started, could you just share a little bit about you, how we met? And just one thing I do want you is, why were you inspired to reach out and say, Hollie, I want to be on your show? I know I can help a lot of people. So first, who are you? How do we meet? And what inspired you to connect with me?
Hi, my name is Lisa. I met Hollie through the Savvy community. When you're looking for something that is greater than me, and the community itself is so uplifting and so inspiring. And I saw her, and I saw one of her shows, Shift Happens, and and then I saw a poll, and it said she had different topics, and one of them was life after divorce, and I felt it on my heart to reach out and just share. And this is the first time I'm sharing publicly my story, so I'm a little bit nervous, not gonna lie.
Everyone cheer her on. Say, you're going to do great. You're going to do great.
So I just felt it on my heart to just reach out. I got quiet and listened to the whispers.
We just talked about this. Okay, get quiet. I want you guys to get out your notebook, and I want you to get out your pens, because I do, get quiet. I don't want to forget to ask you this, because this could very well be the shift that completely changes your entire life. Get quiet. Okay, so we'll unpack that in a minute.
Yeah.
But Lisa, thank you for reaching out, and thank you for being a part of this community. Those that don't know, Lisa and I are in the same company together, and we joined a lot for the community, and we joined for just what this industry does to impact people. And let's face it, it's fun, right? But one of the things Lisa's been able to do is connect with incredible people, to be able to share her story and be able to help other people. And she loves this community. So if you're tuning in from one of our community pages, say hello, say thank you, Lisa, for joining us and tuning in. And if you are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, just reach out to one of us and say, hey, what's community you're talking about? Because it's changed my life and it could change yours. So Lisa, before we talk about getting quiet, this is your first time publicly sharing this. So I just want to say thank you for being brave. And I know a lot of viewers that are either watching the replay or on now are thanking you for being brave, because that's not easy. Being brave is not easy, and it's very vulnerable. So I just commend you for that, because what you're doing right now is going to heal other people. So I know you're an energetic healer, and I want to ask more about that later. But what you're doing now is really impactful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So my first question is life after divorce. So when you were going through, we're going to talk less about, going through, what you went through. But when you were going through that process, did you feel Hopeless? Did you feel hopeful? Be raw and real. It's okay, either answer, because I want people to understand how they're feeling right now on either way. They're not alone. So how did you feel going through that process before you had found the life you have today?
I was angry. I was
Mhm.
really angry, and because I was really hurt, deeply wounded, and I felt like I was on a hamster wheel. Like I
Oh,
couldn't get off that hamster wheel. It's like you deal with an emotion and then you get angry and then you want to know more information and you just can't get off that wheel. It's overwhelming.
can
Um,
anyone relate? Really quick, I'm seeing some people. I went through an ugly divorce 3 years ago, have two babies. I'm not sure if you can see the comments. If you go
I
to the
think,
right-hand side, there's
yeah.
a little button that says comments.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can
Go
see
ahead
them.
and click that so you can see. But
Yeah.
here's the deal. Did you hear that? Angry. She's on the hamster wheel. I know some people are there right now, so lean in. She's not on the hamster wheel anymore, and she's not angry anymore. So she's going to give us some tips on how to do that. So you felt angry. You're on the hamster wheel. You're probably just like reliving things over and over again.
Wow.
What
Um, Go ahead.
what was one of the steps that you took to start getting off of the hamster wheel?
I had to look at things differently because my life was different. It
Mm,
was going to be different. I
mm,
made some really good decisions and I made some horrible decisions. Um, Decisions that have cost me relationships long term. I had to look at who was in my life and who was in my corner, and I had to look at who was toxic to me, who was not good for me. And I had to, and probably one of the hardest things to do is I had to sever a lot of ties, like
mm.
cold turkey, severed a lot of ties, and be willing to not look back, be willing to just look forward. Like
Okay.
once I was done with that, like I'm moving on. And as cold and as insensitive as it sounds, sometimes you have to do those things for your own mental health.
Has anyone here tripped over their future because they keep looking back? Are you tripping over your future because you keep looking back? This right here, even if we ended right now, we're not going to. Be willing to not look back and be willing to sever ties even when it's hard. Are you looking at a situation right now where you know you have toxic relationships and you haven't severed those and you're literally tripping over your future because you're constantly looking back? I know I have. Probably more times than I want to admit. So that's huge. That's powerful. Okay, so you start this journey, you start severing ties. How hard was that?
I'm not going to lie. I was really lonely at times because, the life that you once knew was full and you had all these people in your life and you cut those ties. But what I did was I moved out of that environment. I moved from California to Texas with $300 to my name and no job.
Mm,
So I had to look at life from a different perspective. I
mm.
looked at it from a different lens, and everything that came up to me, I looked at it like, okay, I'm going on an adventure. Every day was an adventure. What,
Good.
rather than looking at like, why is this happening to me? This is happening for me. I get to go on this adventure. I get
Mm,
to choose what I want to do, and not let anything that comes up that's hard, because things come up all the time. I'm not going to lie, things still come up with me. I still get triggered about things. And I'm
yeah.
like, the difference between now and then is I would
Oh,
totally avoid anything like, dodge and just figure out a way around. And at that point in time, that was good for me because it
okay.
kept me moving forward, right?
Would you
It's
right.
rather than getting stuck and fixated on that one situation.
Wow.
Not to say that it's not going to be there later to go back and unpack, but you're in a different frame of mind. Like right now, things still trigger me.
Yeah.
And I'm in a different space. I can sit back and go, wow, look at that. Isn't that interesting? Where
Yeah.
before I would have been really angry and like, yeah, really angry and cry.
So when you were triggered before, this is one of the things like helping people move past the triggers. And I feel like that's part of the different perspective and living a new life and starting, because you're, after divorce, you're really starting a whole new life. So
Yeah.
much is changing. How would you, gosh, what advice would you give someone who is just still getting triggered of the same things? And like, if you guys don't know what your trigger points are, start writing it down. Like when you start getting really, really hot and heated and then your brain stops working and then you like start freaking out over something, that's called being triggered. Get a notebook and write it down. Where were you when you got triggered? What happened when you got triggered? And what did you do when you got triggered? Then we can help you create that change, right? So what advice would you give to someone? How did you move past that from getting triggered to like, oh, this is interesting?
Yeah. So I just, I started to get quiet
Mm.
and
Mm.
just,
Get quiet.
because we have so many distractions around us,
Mm.
and quiet the noise and being able, I think probably one of the biggest things is being able to sit with your own thoughts. Like, and for me, I look at it like, excuse my French, am I allowed to cuss?
Oh yeah, I cuss all the time. It's okay.
But I was like, you know, put your big girl panties on, get your boots on because shit's gonna get deep. It gets deep, and if you put your boots on, you have to walk through the shit to get to the other side. If you don't walk through the shit to get to the other side, you're gonna stay stuck. You know,
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
that Burning Man, right? You see, like that whole fiasco that happened there, like in that lake in the mud, like
Yeah.
that's the stuff you have to walk through.
Guys, please tell me you wrote that down. I'm gonna say it again. Shit is going to get deep. Put on your boots. If you don't walk through the shit, you're not going to get through it to the other side. How many times do we go like this? Okay, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. What does that do for your life? You've got to put your boots on and walk through the shit. Otherwise, you're not going to get to the other side. That was powerful. I'm circling that one. I'm gonna circle. This is good. Good. Circling that one. So changing your lens. My husband and I talk a lot about owning your shit,
Yeah,
even if it's a small portion of it.
yeah,
Because when you're able to own that, you're able to heal from it.
yeah,
Even if it's a small problem. If you're not owning it, you're not gonna be able to walk through it.
right.
That's powerful. That's powerful. So you moved, you changed your life, you cut off toxic friends.
Mhm.
Step one, get quiet, listen to your thoughts, live in your thoughts. What would you say the next step would be getting through that?
I would suggest getting a journal. I journaled a lot,
Oh,
and I
we talked about last week.
really getting clear, like, what is it that you want? Because I promise you, you can ask anybody, what is it that you want? The number one answer that you're going to get back is, I don't know. Well, how do you want to feel? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? What do you want to smell? Like when you can integrate all of your different senses into this
Mm.
and really think about, not, and I got really clear on a journal. Like,
Mm.
and I met my husband, my best friend, and we've been married almost 12 years. And um, it's life changing. He's my best friend. But
Ah,
I wrote in this journal way before I even met him what I
ooh.
wanted in a relationship, how I wanted this person to make me feel, how I wanted to feel when I
Mm.
was in this relationship, what this person would do for me. And all of those things, when I was least expecting it, I was broken. My wings were broken. And, it just, the two of us came together and it was perfect the way it was. I wasn't seeking a relationship because I was still healing.
Mm.
And I knew that. And I expressed that. I was like, I'm in no shape right now to be in a relationship. And I think part of that is just acknowledging, like, where are you at in life? Everybody's got a different journey. Everybody's got a different path. And I think that when we're not okay with being quiet with our own thoughts, we seek other people's validation. And when you can give yourself the validation that you need and not have to worry about what everybody else says
Mm.
or thinks, because I don't know about you, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, it's only fuck yes energy. If
I love that. Oh my gosh. I'm writing that down. That's a good one. Fuck yes. energy. This reminds me of Jackie Pruitt. I'll have to tag her on that. That's cute. Yeah, you know what? That's interesting. So here's the deal. If you don't know what you want, the world's not going to know what you want. You're not going to know where you're going. So if you
Right.
don't know where you're going and you're walking in circles, guys, you're probably the problem. Put in the chat if you're brave enough. I am the problem. If I could type, I'd put that there. I am the more often than not, we're the problem. So getting a journal, where do you want to go? If I could take this computer and just shake it and say, who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? What do you want?
Yeah.
Write that down. Because if you don't know what you want, how the heck are you going to find a partner who is going to partner with you? And you guys can serve each other.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're running around in circles, they're going to start running around in circles with
Yeah.
you. So I love that you're journaling. I love that you consider life an adventure. You sound like a very positive person. Have you always been this way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like even in my darkest times, even when I call it an emotional tsunami because I
Ooh.
was drowning. I was drowning in emotional shit. And it wasn't until I decided, like, you have two choices when you're drowning and it's sink or swim. Like you have a choice. Am I just going to give in and let this happen to me? Or what am I going to do? Like your program says shift happens, right? Like I had to decide at that point in time, am I going to shift and let this take me over? Or am I going to shift and do something that's going to propel me forward?
Wow.
So
The people that are watching who've made the shift to drowning even further, what advice would you give them?
So we have here's the best advice that somebody gave me, and one of my old coaches gave me was, you'll have three types of friends in your life.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so you have friends that are anchors, right? You have friends that are always going to be holding on to you. You have friends that are like life rafts.
That are like life rafts.
Life
Can someone
rafts.
put this in the chat? Susie Newsom, can you type this out for me? Type
Um,
it.
and those life raft friends, those are the friends you always want to keep around because they're going to be there for you always. Like you're having a bad day, they're going to be for you. You want to share something, they're going to be good for you. And then you have your big yacht friends, right? Those are the people that are going to reach down and say, come on, come with me. Come, they're going to lift you up. They're going to push you. They're going to make you do things that feel uncomfortable. And you have to be willing to be uncomfortable to keep reaching up. And you could be that for somebody else at some point in time. But my suggestion would be cut your anchor friends loose. Those are the toxic relations. You've got to sever those ties, let go of those people. Your life raft people, you want to keep them around because they're going to be there for good or bad days. And you want to find somebody who's going to be that yacht. You want to, somebody who's always encouraging you, like, you got this, Holly, you can do this. Like, I see big things for you and always lifting you up. Those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with.
I've never heard this analogy before. Your anchors. So Susie, your anchors, the people that are going to bring you down, not your anchor that's going to anchor you. It's interesting. I thought you were going there, but
Yeah.
this is powerful. Three types of friends. I'm thinking of my friends now. Three types of friends. Someone who's going to anchor you, like sinking slowly, bringing you down,
Yeah.
holding you down, right?
Yeah.
What anchors do, they hold down ships. Or you have your life rafts, the people that are going to keep you afloat. I feel like Shift Happens is a part of a life raft.
Yeah.
I didn't create this. Like, I'm interviewing people. It's not about me. And the interviews are like, tell me your story. We want to share your story to help lift people up. There's so much I can pull from this already. And we're only 20 minutes in. Like, this is crazy. I'm going to make some shorts and like teach you guys some of these things. And I've got a lot of notes already. So you have your life reference that's going to keep you afloat, help you stay afloat. And then you have your big yacht friends that are going to say, you've got this. They're going to encourage you. They're going to lift you up. They're going to give you that inspiration that you didn't have before. And they're going to be there for you. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What kind of friend are you?
I would say that I'm probably a yacht and a life raft because
Yeah.
it just depends like who the friends are. Sometimes I just need to meet people right where they're at.
Yeah.
I don't need to be anything for them. I just need to hold space for them.
I like you. Where do you live?
I live in Texas.
Dang. Texas is too far. I can't drive to Texas. Well, if I'm ever in Texas, I want to meet you. Guys, if you're not following this woman, at the end, I'll share how people can follow you. I like you. I like what you share. I almost said I like what you've gone through, but I don't want that to come out the wrong way. Like I
You
like
know,
what you've gone
here's
through.
the thing. Like I've been through, like I always used to say, I could write a sad country song, right? You play
Yeah.
it backwards and you get it all back. I don't want any of it back. I I wouldn't take any of it back. I wouldn't change the trajectory. There's a movie called Sliding Doors, right? The doors open and close and put you in a specific spot for a time, a reason, or a season.
Mm.
Everybody comes into your life for a lesson that needs to be learned, or I don't know how that analogy goes. I can't remember, but you're put in people's lives. It's the universe works in wonderful ways. And when you're willing to get quiet and listen to the whispers,
Mm.
um, it just like shift happens.
Shift happens. See, I keep hearing this over and over again. I went to a business faith over fear conference over the weekend, and they kept saying on stage, "Shift happens, shift happens." And I did find someone that I'm interviewing about grief. So, guys, I'll be keeping you posted on grief and how to get through that. And because divorce can also be grief, and I know grief as far as losing a loved one, but can we kind of unpack those grief stages because I want you guys to start asking questions in the chat, by the way. So if you have a question specifically for Lisa in the next 10 minutes we have together, I want to be able to answer some questions. But during those grief stages, you went through the stage where you got quiet and you had to sit in your own thoughts. And then you started healing. We're going to talk about the best part about meeting your husband and how you've healed from that and how you're helping other people at the very end. But right now, we're in the stage of I've sat quietly. I wrote down what I wanted. My husband wrote down 3 weeks before he met me the wife that he wanted, and in I walk,
Yeah.
random,
Yeah.
and we were engaged 5, 6, 7 months later.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, guys. Write down what you want because God is waiting for you to ask.
Yeah.
Waiting for you to ask, what do you want? So in between the transition of meeting your husband and sitting still, what was that like? Were you anxious? Were you excited? Were you numb? I know some people get really numb. They have no feelings. What was that like? Because the people that are in this stage.
Right. So there is definitely a grief process, like letting go and acknowledging. And I think part of it is just acknowledging it rather than not, because I think as humans, we, like to not acknowledge our feelings.
Mm.
You can't cry.
You get to deal with them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't cry because if you cry, you're weak, but it's really a sign of courage when you can let go of those tears and release.
Mm.
It's almost kind of cleansing, right? You just let it go
Yeah.
and be willing to quiet the noise and not care what other people think, say, or hear because they're not walking in your shoes. They
Mm.
don't know everything. People see you on social media.
Oh.
They think they know your story, but they know bits and pieces of your story. They don't know the whole thing.
No.
And you're not obligated. And here's the other thing too. So like when you have, I always tell people this, this is one of the things that I share with some friends, when they get all frustrated, I say, okay, how many seats do you have at your dinner table? I don't know. I'll ask you, Holly, how many seats do you have at your dinner table?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Okay, you have 6 seats at your dinner table.
Yeah.
Are you going to invite everybody that you know to your dinner table?
Oh, this is good. No.
Yeah, so that space is a very sacred space, right? That's your dinner table.
Ah.
So those are the people you really care about. Everybody else doesn't
Ooh.
matter.
Who are you inviting to your dinner table, guys, to sit with you? Are we inviting anchors?
Yeah.
Are we inviting life rafts? Are we inviting yachts? Who are you inviting in to speak into you? That's one of the big things. My husband and I are both coaches, and we encourage people to invite people to speak life into them. Who is speaking around you? Who are you inviting to your dinner table? Wow, that was good. Wow. So you started the healing process. You sat with yourself. Did you have a lot of self-development that you went through, podcasts you listened to, or books that you read?
Every day, every day, I have a library of books, and it was interesting. They were sitting in the garage for a long time, and I just unpacked them all about a year ago. I had my husband build me a bookshelf, and I have them there, and it's a library of personal development. And
Mm,
so, you just sometimes, and I still reread the books,
yeah.
just whatever I'm called to, like, oh, maybe I want to read this today, and maybe I won't read the whole book, but maybe I'll just flip through it and read what needs to be read, right?
So what would you say for someone who says, I don't like to read?
Listen to an audiobook because I did.
Yay! Some people never think of that. I'm like, oh, no problem.
Yeah,
Podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube.
yeah,
You're like, yeah, I never thought of that. That's why we say this.
yeah.
Is there one book, two books that you want to just rattle off for people that are still going through the process of going through a divorce, or they're still really angry and don't know how to get past it? Is there anyone? If you don't know now, that's okay. We can always put it on the list
Yeah,
later.
I'll go back and I'll look because there was two books that a therapist had given to me, or not given to me, but suggested that I read, and it really helped to explain the hamster wheel and how to get off that hamster wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So hamster wheel. If you want to know what this book is, put hamster wheel in the chat. Okay. And then I'll know to get back with you specifically for that book. Is there anyone here? I've got 5 more minutes. Is there anyone here who has a question, specific question for Lisa, that we can go ahead and ask her? Because I want to also move into life after divorce, because some people never truly start living again. They have guilt. Maybe they've done something. Maybe they felt it was all their fault. They went through a divorce. Maybe their kids aren't speaking to them. I'm talking like the real life, real death like situations. Can you talk a little bit about life and what people can look forward to so they have something to hold on to?
yeah, and you hit on a couple of things.
Mhm.
So guilt, and I'm not immune to that because there are still times where I'm human. There's a lot of guilt that I still suffer from, and two of my youngest children, I don't have a relationship with them. They don't speak to me.
Okay.
Um, and if you look at it through a child's eyes rather than looking at like being
Mm,
really hurt, they
mm,
were really hurt at the time we were going through this. So I understand that, like looking from their lens, like if I was them, I'd be really hurt too. And I don't know that I'd want to have a relationship. So, when we look at like children and all the dynamics, right? It's not just children,
yeah.
but everybody has their own experience, right?
Yeah.
And at some point in time, you have to be willing to let go. Like I have done whatever I can do. And the situations, and I can't take back any of it. Some of the situations that happened at that point in time, my kids were forced to make adult decisions. Adult decisions have, when you make it as a child,
Mm.
have adult consequences, right? So yeah, there's all I can say is I pray for everybody involved, and again, if I could put my hands on everybody and heal the world, I would
Mm.
do it. Everything is from my heart.
I love that what you just said, like I'm visualizing. So I visualize you putting your hands on the people that are listening and being able to help heal them. But that's actually what you're doing with your voice right now. That's literally what you're doing. You're putting hands on each person that's listening by your voice and unpacking what we're doing right now today. And I love that you just said there's going to be things that happen that don't really go your way. You've got 2 children that had to make adult decisions with adult consequences as being a child and looking through their lens. I love your perspective. I love your perspective because you're able to take yourself out of the experience and look through a different lens, and that's not common. I can do that, and it's interesting because there's not a lot of people that can do that, and I'm trying to find a way to teach people how to do it, right? So in your perspective, how do you teach people to step outside your body and look at it from a different perspective? Do you have a technique?
I do. There's
Oh,
actually
tell me what it is, because I don't know how I do it. So I'm like, oh, how do you teach people how to do this? Okay, we're going for more time, people. Tell me.
Okay, how much time do we have? I'll try and do this quickly. So there's a process where I sit people down in a coaching practice, right? And I have them visualize themselves as like a 3-year-old.
Okay.
And here's the other thing too. So we'll go back to that. Visualize themselves as a 3-year-old. Close your eyes, shrink yourself down and step into that 3-year-old's body. Put your feet where her feet are, put your hands where her hands are, put her heart where her heart is. Breathe through her lungs as a 3-year-old,
Mm.
and then open your eyes and look at the world.
Mm.
You're little, you're a 3-year-old.
Mm.
So, and the other thing too, I will share with people, because I think a lot of people want to hold on to stuff. And I tell people, like, I'll give you an example. I'll be like, hey, Hollie, I know that, you know, things are tough right now. I know that you just got in a fight with somebody, you had a disagreement, and, you've got bills to pay. And I'm talking to 3-year-old Hollie. Okay. So, 3-year-old Hollie, you have all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
And you say, like Big Hollie says, hey, 3-year-old Hollie, will you hold this for me? Did you feel that? Like,
Mm.
would you put all of that stuff on 3-year-old Hollie? No. So
Yeah.
the question is, why would you put it on yourself as an adult Hollie?
Holy.
Give yourself permission to not be okay sometimes.
Oh, really? Are you guys getting this? Is this just like blowing my mind? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I'm picturing things in my life that I'm putting, like, get the backpack on.
Yeah,
Let's just like, put
yeah,
all this heavy shit in my backpack.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Give yourself permission to not be okay. I tell people that, but also give yourself permission to take the weight off, because you would never give that to your 3-year-old self,
Yeah,
or even look at your kids. Would you put that weight on your kids?
right,
We're putting that weight on ourselves.
right.
Wow. So visualize yourself, step into your body, open your eyes, picture your life, um, picture the weight that you're holding to yourself. Would you give that to your 3-year-old self? Wow. What would be the next step?
It's usually a really yucky feeling. People are like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I wouldn't. So it's just the acknowledgement. Like, if you wouldn't do that for your 3-year-old self, why would you put it on yourself? And it's just bringing the awareness and allowing people to be aware
Mm.
and be like, oh, and rather than being hard on yourself, like, oh, there I go again,
Oh, yeah.
you
Don't say
know,
that.
just be like, say to yourself, like, well, isn't this interesting?
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? Like, this comes up. Oh, isn't that interesting? And
You know, I
that's
use the same words. Like, so Tony Robbins says the word fascinating instead of like flipping out.
yeah,
Fascinating. So mine is interesting.
yeah. You get
Wow.
curious.
Curiosity heals.
Yeah,
Curiosity moves you forward. Being interested in other people, not be interesting. There's so much healing in that, guys. That's a whole nother thing we can unpack. That's there's so much healing in that.
yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So that is a beautiful, is there any more after that?
No,
Once
I
you
just
learning
like,
it?
it's like once you get the awareness,
Yeah.
like it just brings it, when because you will get triggered again once it comes up. Like, it gives you the ability to like get curious about it. What is it that I need to see? What is it that I need to hear? What is it that I need to feel? Start asking yourself the questions. Where do I need to be? Who do I want to be? How do I want to act? How do I want other people to see me? When you
Yeah.
start getting curious, like, and it just depends on the situation for every person,
Yeah.
like, but being able to be like a 3-year-old inquisitive child. Why?
Yeah. I want you guys to walk through this. The people that are still on listening, or the ones that are tuning in, this is so jam-packed with so much. I want you guys to rewatch this. It's short, so you'll rewatch it. I'll be pulling some things out of this and creating some reels and some shorts to help people. And I'll have the YouTube available so you can send it to other people who are going through the process of divorce, maybe have gone through divorce, haven't been able to heal from it. We're going to end it off with massive encouragement because Lisa has found her soulmate. She has found her best friend. She found someone who is able to step in and create a whole new life for her. And we're hopeful for that for you. But there are steps you need to take to get there, right, Lisa?
Yes.
If you hadn't gone through the steps, would you be where you are today?
Absolutely not. I'd be stuck where I was before.
You would be stuck. Peg, this is why I brought this, because you may have not gone through this, but you're going to meet a lot of people who have, and now you get to share it with them. So I hear you. I haven't, my parents are still married. I haven't gone through divorce, but I've seen the ripping of souls and the ripping of families and the ripping of lives
It's a
from,
ripple effect.
yeah, and then not the healing from it. So this is so powerful. So tell us a little bit about today. Let's sing praise over the healing that you did, because I want people to know that it's possible. Life can happen after divorce.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how your life is now.
I'm married to a veteran. We've been married for 12 years. We travel. We have 2 dogs. He's a pilot, so we go flying every now and then. I don't know, we just do life together. It is just easy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, life doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah. Life doesn't have to be hard. We definitely grow through the hard parts, but are you still living in that hard? Are you living on the hamster wheel? Are you living on the rat race? And if you are, there are tips from this session, if you're just tuning in, that are going to help you get off that hamster wheel. And make sure you put hamster wheel or just hamster in the comments. Don't care if you spell it wrong. Just put a picture of a hamster. And we'll go ahead and give you some tools, some tips and tricks, and some books, some audio things you can listen to, because this was really powerful. Lisa, I'm so happy you were called to reach out to me because this was very powerful. It's going to help a lot of people. How do people find you? I know that you do some energetic healing and coaching. You didn't have a podcast or books or anything, but I want people to get in touch with you and connect with you. How can they connect with you? Like, what's the best way?
So they can connect with me on Facebook. They can send me a message on Facebook. I don't, my coaching and energetic healing practice, it's, how do I put this? It's kind of like you have to know me to get on my schedule.
Woo, you got VIP access. No, I hear you. You're selective on, what you're doing right now in your life.
Yeah. So just reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm on Instagram as well. The Lisa Muse.
Okay.
Either one.
So guys, please reach out to one of us. We also talked about the company not everyone I interview is from the same company that we work with, but here's the deal. When you feel heard, the healing process starts. If you're looking for a place with women that are just like Lisa and I, and you need a place to feel heard, we have a place for you. If you're someone watching and saying, man, I am a badass, well, it's okay, we can say it. I love helping people heal. I am a coach. I am a mentor. I do mentor coaching. I am, I'm in the service industry and I love serving and helping people. Reach out to us because this is what we do. We use an amazing vehicle and a tool to be able to reach into people's lives, to help mentor them to get to the next, to help them heal. And we have a way to do that. Super fun. And you get to be a part of this community. So definitely reach out to one of us. And just remember, be still. It's okay to sit in your thoughts. It's okay to be still, because here's the deal, guys. Today could be the day that you make shift happen. And it's up to you. You can either shift in the right direction or the wrong direction. Please share this on your page. It's on my personal page, Hollie Lynch O'Brien. Go to my page, comment, and share it with someone. Because even if you share it on your page, someone very well could be looking for something like this, and now they found it, and you got to be a part of that journey. So thank you, Lisa. Everyone say thank you, Lisa, for being vulnerable and open. This is the first time she's ever shared. You did a phenomenal job. I'm so excited that we're now friends. You're stuck with me. If I'm in Texas, I'm going to come see you. And just say thank you, Lisa, for sharing. Share this with someone, guys. And I'm so excited to get to know you a little bit better, Lisa.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Okay, guys. I love you. I will see you next week on Shift Happens. We've got more to come. If you want to be a guest on my show and you have a powerful story you want to share, please let me know in the comments or direct message me. And let's make Shift happen together. So say bye, guys. See ya.